Hi, everyone. Professor Martin here. I wanted to welcome you to a new semester of Speech 101. And I wanted to go through and just provide you a little bit of clarification in regards to some of the announcements that I posted so that you understand how to move forward in this course. So first, I want to direct your attention to the announcements section. The announcements is going to be how I communicate with you on a weekly basis as we go throughout this course. Every Sunday, I'll post an announcement, and that announcement will be your guide for the week. It'll have specifically any assignments that you need to complete, any lectures you need to watch, and really is how you operate week to week. Think of announcements as us meeting in class and talking through the things that you need to do that week. So you'll see in announcements starting with week one, I provide you not just what you have to accomplish week one, but I explain all of module one. And that's my next point is the way I've divided this class is into 4 modules. And each module, it consists of multiple weeks. And so the first week, you'll see only a few things are due. Then we go into next week, you'll see those deadlines also under module 1. So I just wanted to clarify that the way I've designed this course, it's into 4 modules, and then each module consists of a few weeks. So don't get overwhelmed if you look at my announcement, my start of module 1 announcement, because that is everything that should be completed during module 1, not week 1. So I wanted to clarify that. I also wanted to talk a little bit about the textbook. And so as you've probably seen in my announcements, I've provided the ISBN numbers for the textbook. These numbers, if you type them into Google, you're going to pull up ways to get access to the textbook. Let me just share a few ways that might be helpful for you. So let me start with sharing my screen. Let me share with you specifically, probably one of the most popular sites to get the textbook is going to be the through Amazon. So you'll see if I expand my screen here, you will see that here at Amazon, there is paperback and loose leaf. Loose leaf would be something you'd put in a binder. Paperback is going to be just that, a paperback version. Various prices associated with this, but you see, those are pretty steep prices. And so I want to show you some ways to get access to the textbook that are cheaper than that. If you go to cheapesttextbooks.com, you're going to see, again, a variety of ways you can access the textbook. Some of these are going to be what we call digital or online textbooks. For example, VitalSource and RedShelf are both online textbook programs. And so you'll see that those prices are a little bit better than what you would get on Amazon. You could also get used versions of this textbook if you wanted, which are cheaper than a new version. The only requirement is that this textbook is going to be edition 4. So make sure you get the 4th edition of Public Speaking and Civic Engagement. And then the last link I wanted to share with you is the Pearson website. So Pearson is the publisher of this textbook. And if you go to pearson.com and you search for this textbook, this is what will pop up. I think this is the best price, $9.99, for access to the e-textbook or a digital version of the textbook. The Revel version of the textbook is only $69.99. The benefit of the Revel version is you also have access to an audiobook version of the textbook. So if you learn better by listening, then this is a good option for you. So it gives you not only the textbook you can read, but it gives you the audiobook version of the textbook. This is great if you're going to be traveling on the CTA, right? Or if you're commuting to work, you can put on the audiobook and get through the content. You also see here, if you go to the $9.99 version, you get instant access to the textbook. Because you're required to complete assignments week 1, if you have any challenges when it comes to ordering the textbook, I would recommend starting here. start here and get instant access for $9.99. The Revel version allows you to get a 14-day temporary access where you don't have to pay anything. But once that 14-day expiration arrives, you no longer have access. And so you would need to have upgraded by paying the $69.99 or gotten a different version of the textbook by the end of those 14 days. So again, this is where I recommend you go. A lot of people go to Amazon first, which is fine. But as you saw, the textbook was over $100, in some places $200, and that's too expensive. And so I would recommend going here, getting the e-textbook version for $9.99 a month. Or if you benefit from an audiobook version in addition to the text version, then I would go with the Revel version. We aren't using Pearson Revel as a learning management system. I know some classes do, maybe use MyMathLab or some other programs that are provided by the textbook publisher. Well, we aren't using those resources in this class. And so you don't need an access code from me in order to get this Revel version. If we were going to be using Pearson Revel learning management system, then I would provide you an access code so that you could register for this and be enrolled in our section of the course on Pearson Revel. But we're just using the Brightspace or D2L learning management system, and the textbook is just something you need access to. So again, it can be a printed copy, it can be an electronic copy, or it can be the audiobook version, however you best learn. So that is the textbook. While I'm here, let me go back and show you the announcements. So there were some introductory announcements that provided you these ISBN numbers that you can plug into Google. There's also an explanation of electronic communication etiquette. So it's important to know that I'm teaching multiple sections of this class. And so if you have any issues with a specific assignment, or you have any issues with something on Brightspace, make sure you include your section number in your email so that I can best help you come to some resolution. So that may be WW2 or WW4 or WW23. Whatever specific section of this course you've registered for, make sure you include that. And you can see that on Brightspace, specifically up at the top when you look at the course name. I have it listed as Speech 101. WW2 is the one I have pulled up here. So again, whatever that number is, WW2, 4, 23, 5, 6, whatever section you're a part of, make sure you include that in your communication with me. I would encourage you to also read over some of the other email etiquette or communication etiquette requirements, as we are striving to be professional in our communication in this course. And this is where we start. I've provided a little bit about my background, but I also wanted to explain a little bit about what an adjunct faculty is and what we do. So adjunct faculty for City Colleges of Chicago is, or any university, I also teach this class for a couple other universities, we are part-time and we are contract. And so we work full-time jobs in addition to this. And what that means is I'm working, 8 to 4, 8 to 5 throughout the day. And then it's in the evenings when I respond to emails and follow up on questions. So, and it's also when I do grading. And so I wanted to clarify that, because unlike a professor you may have has an office on campus or has office hours on campus, I do not. And so I work, like I said, full time, and then I teach this class part-time. So what that means is, unfortunately, I can't be available all of the time, or I may not be available during the hours some other professors are available. So my evening times are usually when I'm available to respond to emails and answer questions. And I'll have some Zoom office hours posted in announcements. So if you want to hop on and meet with me, you can pop in on those Zoom sessions. Otherwise, send me a text message, send me an email. Let me know if you want to meet via Zoom or a phone call, and we can schedule that. So that's how at least my office hours will be for this this semester. Like I said, I'll post some Zoom sessions when I'll be available for online office hours if you wanted to pop into those, but most of those will be in the evening hours. The other thing I want to make sure I mention is if you have any issues specifically with D2L Brightspace, I would say first double check that your browser is up to date. And if your browser is not up to date, then use a different browser. Sometimes the browser updates can limit certain information from being seen or viewed. And so if you're having any issues with Brightspace, I would say start there. If you have any other issues, I would encourage you to contact the City College of Chicago IT team so they can help you navigate any of those technical issues you may be having. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is the embedding of videos into discussion posts. So because this is an online asynchronous class, we aren't meeting in person for lecture. We're not meeting in person for speeches. It is all facilitated through discussion posts. And so it's important that when you create your speeches in this class, that you share them in a way that everybody can watch them, everybody can view them and provide feedback on them without having to download any large files or go outside of Brightspace to another program. And so I provide you here the step-by-step process for not just recording, but uploading and then embedding your video into Brightspace. Make sure you do that. Any videos that have to be downloaded as files or are links that then direct us to YouTube or to a Vimeo or some other program won't be graded. Let me repeat that. They won't be graded. You'll receive a 0. And so make sure that you are going through these steps specifically, following these instructions so that you submit your speech assignments correctly. If you have any issues with this, let me know. I do this, as a matter of fact, this announcement that I'm showing you on the screen here is an embedded video in a post. So what you are seeing is just that. You're able to, within Brightspace, click play and watch the video without going to a different program. So as long as you do this, and after you submit it, you can go back to the discussions and watch it within Brightspace, you've done it correctly. If at any point you go back and you're not able to view it within Brightspace, then submit a new post, or if you can edit your post and fix it, make sure that is correct. I won't go through and say your video can't be viewed, please resubmit. No, you have to make sure that your video can be viewed from the start once you submit it. So if you have any issues or challenges after you submit it, let me know, but I'm not going to go through when grading and give you another chance to upload it. So you have to make sure it can be viewed within Brightspace before the deadline for the assignment. So I wanted to clarify some of those policies. I know I explained it in detail and in writing here. I provide you a tutorial on how to complete these tasks, and I provide you this module 1 of week 1, what to complete. So as I mentioned, we're not meeting for lecture, we're not meeting for class, we're not meeting to deliver speeches. So it is all done, facilitated through this online environment. So make sure in order to get started with module 1, you take a look at what is required. So you'll see that for module 1, week 1, I want you to review the syllabus, review the course schedule that's listed in there. I have the dates that everything is due is listed, not just in your syllabus, but is listed on Brightspace. I want you to take the user or sign the user agreement sign off and complete the new student orientation quiz. These are all very quick things that you can get done very quickly. They don't take much time. Then I want you to complete the syllabus quiz, which asks you like 4 or 5 questions from the syllabus. They're very general. If you skim the syllabus, you'll be able to respond to these questions. And then finally, the Check Your Tech quiz. Let me kind of explain a little bit about the purpose of the Check Your Tech quiz. So in this course, you are required to use Microsoft Word and Microsoft PowerPoint. I also recommend that you use the free version of Zoom to do your video recording. Because in this class, once you get past the practice speeches, well, all except the last practice speech, and the three formal speeches, you're required to use a PowerPoint presentation during your speech while you deliver your speech. And there are very few programs out there that are intuitive and easy to use that allow you to both video record yourself delivering the speech while also sharing your screen with a PowerPoint video or a PowerPoint presentation. Zoom provides a free account that allows you to do that. It allows you to record to device or record to computer. It gives you this media file that you can then upload into YouTube to then get a sharing link that you can then embed into a discussion post. And so I want to make sure that you understand how to use this technology: Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, Zoom. And also Brightspace, because this is where we are, this is our classroom environment. So the Check Your Tech quiz essentially is you acknowledging that you know how to use these programs. If you don't know how to use these programs, I've provided tutorials for you listed in the Check Your Tech assignment. So I want you to go through and make sure you understand how to use this technology so that you can complete the assignments in this course. I have had some students ask if they can complete their, instead of using Microsoft Word, maybe use Pages on a Mac device, or use Google Documents. You can always start your assignments there, but you always have to make sure you save it as a .doc or .docx file so that you can upload it to Brightspace as a Word document. If you upload it as a .pages document or anything else, or submit a link to Google Docs, it won't be graded. So make sure that you know how to, if you're not using Microsoft Word specifically, if you're using a similar program, make sure you know how to upload it as a Microsoft Word document into Brightspace. If you want free versions of Microsoft programs, you have access to that through your role as a student. So I would encourage you to go onto the school website and in order to learn more about how to access the student versions of Microsoft Word and Microsoft PowerPoint. You don't have to pay for them because your tuition provides you access to those programs. So make sure you know how to use the technology. Microsoft PowerPoint is the other program that we use in this course. We'll learn how to use it, but you'll need to make sure you have access to it before we get to the civic engagement news, or actually no, the Chicago Places practice speech. So make sure you have access to Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and Zoom. You'll see that I have the lectures listed. And probably the easiest way to get into the kind of the week-to-week assignments is just to do it step by step. So step 1, review these things, take these quizzes. Step 2, watch these lectures, right? Special occasion speaking and origins of public speaking and civic responsibility. Step 3, submit your self-introduction video. Step 4, write your personal mission statement and record yourself sharing your personal mission statement with us. Step 5, civic engagement news, practice speech. Follow those instructions to submit just a short practice speech where you're citing a source. So that goes into kind of my final point, and that's the practice speeches. Every module will have multiple practice, or really module 1 has multiple practice speeches to help prepare you for the formal speeches. The practice speeches, if you do them and submit a video and submit your outline, your speaking notes, you're going to get full points just for doing it. I'm not going in and grading them specifically based on content or based on delivery. They're just an opportunity for you to practice introducing yourself, practice citing a source, practice using a PowerPoint. So there are opportunities for you to practice. So I would encourage you to use them as a stress-free way to practice. Once you submit your video or post your video in your discussion post, you'll also want to include your speaking notes. Your speaking notes can be copy and pasted into your discussion post, or they can be included as a file. It doesn't necessarily matter how you include your speaking notes. It's just important that you include them. And so starting with your self-introduction, make sure you have some kind of notes to speak from. And we'll dive more into how to design your notes so that you're able to speak from them proficiently. But starting with your self-introduction, make sure you have some kind of speaking notes for all of your speeches. You'll want to not only submit those speaking notes when you submit your discussion post with your video, you'll want to save those to a master Word document. At the end of this course, there will be what's called a speech portfolio assignment. It's worth a lot of points. And really all it is a collection of all of your speaking notes and outlines and writing assignments from this course. So everything that you write and submit, copy and paste into a master Word document. When we get towards the end of the course, I'll share some formatting instructions so you can go through and format that document correctly. And then you write a summary or a conclusion paragraph, and then you submit that. It's a lot easier if you complete that along the way instead of waiting to the very end to compile everything. I've had students who've done that and then they can't find some notes. So I encourage you to, starting at the very first self-introduction speech, save everything that you submit, copy and paste it into a master document so that you can submit that in your speech portfolio at the end of the course. So those are my announcements. Those are my insights in regards to this course. I'm here for you. I'm here to coach you. I'm here to guide you. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out via text message or reach out via email. So with that, I will sign off, and I will make sure to include my my open office hours Zoom information. I'll include that as an announcement on Brightspace. So with that, I will say goodbye, and I will see you in class.